Hi guys, I'm back. I hope you are all keeping well. And apologies that I haven't been on for a little while. I've had a lot going on. Basically been exhausted. I've had stuff going on within family. And as you know, I also work as well. And I also feel that there's been a touch of psychic attack there, which a lot of us are feeling at the moment. So I've just had to lie low and nourish myself, and I've learned that after what happened with the breast cancer, that I always put myself first. But nevertheless, apologies that I've missed a few shows, and I'm back. And this is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, as I've been watching things unfold. I thought, right, let's go at it. Let's see what's happening. So the first thing I'm going to do is, which I feel very passionate about, is I'm going to go back to the event, what happened with CharlieKirk, and I'm going to see what I can see remote view. And then I'm also going to look at what is 3i Atlas. I'm going to remote view into that for you all as well. And then the other thing is, I'm going to zoom forward into the future and see what the possible timelines can be for this digital ID for the United Kingdom, which doesn't look very good at the moment, as we are under, we're under a lot of tyrants at the moment. And I feel it's about time that we started to fight back on all of this. So I want you to sit back and relax. And it's not a case of looking into the looking glass. I'm going to remote view. So let's remote view. Okay, let's do Charlie first. And before we start, I just want to send peace and love out to his family. In the movement. Let's hope that, I believe there's more Charlies to rise. That's what I believe. I believe that there's more. I was just this week, I've been talking to somebody in the UK who feels very inspired by Charlie. And I just think this is, why we come to this planet. We come as multidimensional beings to do what we need to do, our bit. And Charlie did his bit, and he set the seed going for other star seeds to go out there to do what they need to do. Okay. So I'm not going to put any of my take on this. I'm just going to go pure, raw, remote view. Right, okay, the energies are really high. And as you know, Charlie's talking. It's a beautiful, sunny, windy day. And I feel sometimes, the tensions could be high with the subjects that he was getting asked and talked about. And I'm just stepping back. I'm sort of like remote viewing. I'm looking from the roof area where supposedly this guy was. And I believe there was a guy there. I'm getting this tense feeling in my solar plexus here. And this is not just one person. I'm getting an operation involved here. Carefully planned operation, that's what they're giving us. So I'm actually feeling that the person who was on the roof was maybe looking out for whoever was doing it from an opposite direction. But I also feel I'm being given the name plant. Planted there is trickery so that they could frame the other person. Does that make sense? They had to frame somebody because they had to take him out. I'm smelling roses. He's definitely with Christ. Definitely with Christ. When I get roses, I'm get Christ consciousness, Mother Mary. Okay. Right, so they're giving us the letter S or C involved. Okay, I want you to remember all of this. Right, so what I'm feeling is that, as you know, it's all talked about. Is there a big question mark that it's come from an opposite direction? And I do believe so. I mean, I actually watched it in real time, where I've seen it coming out of the front of the neck. So the impact took place from the back of the neck. I'm feeling it. Okay. So they're showing me 2 or 3, possibly 4, like onlookers. It's been a massive operation, massive operation. And it's an inside job. This is what they're showing me. Somebody who was close to Charlie, who possibly still is in, I'm not going to say names for legal purposes, okay? So yeah, I definitely feel there was a connection, and there is still a connection with people that he knew, or a certain person that he knew. What came to mind was, and I know it's only fiction, but can you remember the film Ghost with Patrick Swayze? And in the film Ghost, when Patrick Swayze dies, he goes over and then he says that it was a friend of his who was double-crossing him and who was around Molly at the time in the film. And that's the feeling I was getting. That's what I was getting. The question is, will this ever be proved? I'm not sure. I'm not here tonight for that. I'm here for tonight to show you that what my take on who did what and why. And going back to what I'm getting is there's this feeling that I'm getting that certain people on earth are used like puppets for whatever reason, if it's in the lineage, or sometimes they are connected to, with their dark sort of energies, they're connected to whatever you want to call them, archons, reptilians, whatever you want to call them. But there was definitely a dark energy there of jealousy, and it was karmic energy. And I believe whoever did this to Charlie, it's been from a past life as well. It's karmic. And don't forget, we've all come here to do what we need to do. And some of us are here on a karmic journey as well. And to clear karmic debt or pain, what our ancestors have gone through. This is why the world's in a mess. So going back to that, I feel there's a definite energy when I'm getting from Charlie. This is supposed to be remote viewing and I'm actually getting him here. And he feels double-crossed. He definitely feels double-crossed. I'll do him at some point, but I need to do this. He's smiling. Okay. So I definitely feel that the D-state was involved. And because I feel it's as if that they needed him out of the way because he was awakening too many young souls. So what they've done is they've used a situation to stitch somebody up. And it's been somebody who's been possibly bad with their mental health. That's what they do. They target. And I don't believe for 1 minute that when it is talked about that his family, his father had turned him in with a guy who's been convicted, I don't believe that is the case. I believe that there's been no evidence of this family coming forward because I believe they've been gagged. They've been gagged, they've been told not to say anything. So I definitely feel it's as if that somebody pressed the button who was close in his circle, but I definitely feel they didn't actually do the situation. They got somebody else to do it. So they're giving us marksmen. They're not giving me somebody, just some normal lad off the street. You're talking marksman. And this has been done before with JFK. It's the same it's the same narrative. They've done this before. Okay. So I am getting that the marksman was paid or used and I feel by an agency. This is what I'm feeling. Afterwards, they're from the back, and then they've fled the situation. But it's as if it's been distracted from the front to give them from the back time to get away. But there was three people involved. So I feel they were working from the front as well as from the back. And I think everything was just like a show, you know, and a distraction. Even like the older man that they said that they had suspected and tried to arrest or take him away, that was a distraction as well. Right, so they show me a van, they show me a blacked out van, and I'm hearing like breathlessness running. Okay, and then I'm seeing a young man, possibly in his 30s, jumping into the back of a van where there's other agents there, and I can see the man's face. And it's really weird because when I'm in this van, I'm seeing all sort of technology, which they have. You know, I knew somebody who was connected with MI6, and they told me that, you know, that had left and everything, and they told me that they have the technology to put devices on the wall to listen through our houses, that type of thing. So you're talking, you know, this futuristic world, what I keep going on about, which has been held back from which they're going to create at some point, some sort of an event to bring what up to date and bring the technology in. Okay. It's all about timing. This was cleverly planned, and they all got together, and I believe that it was planned, and it looks like a basement place, a place where there's no windows. It's just all completely solid concrete. Then they're giving us over the border. This is coming in really strong in Mexico. So I feel it's as if that agencies use different agents from different places. It's like a network of connections. It's really funny when I'm going back to this van where the person who did it jumps into the back of the van. I get this feeling, it's like, you know, like, remember the A-Team? It's sort of like that A-Team. It's like these are bad boys these are bad boys working for an agency, but they were bad boys. And they get paid a lot of money for doing this. And it's literally like Men in Black. You can't see anything, you know what I mean? It's all hush hush. Not just the agencies we use, there's other agencies. Something is going to come out, and I'm seeing a big, I don't know if it's a factory or if it's a great big building, like a company, and there's like a tick, or there's like a straight line and something like that in a logo. It's in a logo, and it's going to come out. Could be 2026. So this person who's been close to him is wanting him out of the way. So it's been like kill two birds with one stone type of thing. So it's somebody who's had a vendetta, who's also worked with this agency. Okay. It's phasing out now. As I look at him after, I just feel it's as if he's sad because he knows the situation and he knows what's going on. The backstabbing within the clique of this movement. And there will be justice. This is what I'm being shown. But he's going to also influence, he's resting on the other side, and he's also going to influence other young speakers to come forth. His mission isn't over with, even though he's out of body. We're multidimensional beings, and our spirits don't die. Our body may go to dust, but our spirits spirits live on. And I want to say that he's going to influence a lot of young souls to take on his, not just within that movement, because the movement will carry on. It's not that. It was certain somebody who was in that. And it's male, by the way. I'm not going to go down the route of feeding into the hatred, what's out there at the minute, the lush, what's the disgust and lush, what's out there towards, attacking Erica and all of that. I'm not going to do that. It's not in my soul to do that, to attack a grieving widow. But even if I'm wrong, she's still a grieving widow. Because I know for a fact there's males involved behind this. It's not her. But I'm going to say one thing. There was a video where she had appeared, and it was on Charlie's show, with these other colleagues and ex-friends and that. And she was, they were smiling and laughing. And then she was called for that, But, if anybody's been to like an Irish wake, everybody laughs and gets drunk and, travellers in the travelling community are the same. You get drunk and you laugh and you talk about the funny times. And that's what she was doing. That's what you do when you're gathering with round friends. It's not all morbid sitting there crying. And I think people need to open their mind up about that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that it's important that we keep our feet firmly on the ground and understand that there's a lot of trickery out there at the moment. And it's definitely going on within not just the news outlets, it's going on across the social media as well. Right, we're phasing out that one. Definitely more than one person involved. Definitely. It was carefully planned. Now, this is what I'm being given before I pull away from that situation. They were going to do it a few weeks earlier where he was somewhere else, or a few days earlier somewhere else, and I don't know if something got cancelled. You'd have to check that out and comment on the link below. And that's why they did it when they did it at that place. But they were going to do it somewhere else. I don't know if it got cancelled or it's all about the timing when you're planning something like this. Or it was because they were late. Something was not running on time. And that's why it got moved. The date got moved. Okay. Right, it's going white now. It's going light. Okay. 3i Atlas. What can I say? This is raw remote viewing. I've looked into this before. Okay, I'm definitely sensing a technology here. I'm getting a buzzy feeling. I'm excited. I'm not sure if it's radioactive or a radiation. It would be to the human body. There's definitely still a lot of energy there. Right, okay, this is interesting. So it is a mothership. It's a definite energy of a huge UFO mothership. But it's not a case it's going to come here. Let's get this into perspective, okay? Do you want the truth? Or do you want some polished lie, what's out there on the internet? I'm going to give you the truth. I'm going to give you what I actually see. So this is alien technology, but this is connected with man as well. Now, I've talked about this before. Space Force has been going on a very, very long time. And they used Donald Trump to introduce it. But, it's all Star Wars out there. It's all Star Trek. It's actually happening. And again, it's down to the technology that they're holding back from where. The technology that is actually there, but we don't know about it because we've been kept like children in the dark. away from this hidden futuristic world. So it's all going on out there. So it's as if that they're tracking and they're going from planet to planet. It's a spaceship. And they know fine well who they are and what they're doing. But they're just going to spin some story, that it's gone or it's dispersed or something like that. Hasn't it not just been recently that they had removed or the whole system of tracking it on telescopes, or was it NASA? It had gone down. But they did this before. They did this with the Sunspot Observatory as well. Can you remember that? Back in 2018? And at the same time, the Sunspot Observatory in California went down. All the observatories at the same time all went down at the same time. Because they didn't want anybody to see the fleets of ships which was coming in. So we're talking, now Donald Trump knows this. Yeah, I think certain presidents will know this. But I definitely feel very strongly that it's fully operational Space Force. I'm just going into it. So we've got personnel walking around. Some of them they don't look human. It's a bit like Star Trek, but definitely we've got human, is it soldiers or personnel up there? The big space stations up there as well. And you're not just talking the US and the UK here, you're talking all the different countries of Russia, everywhere, China, they're all involved. It's all just one bloody big show, So I do feel 3i Atlas, it's fueling from the sun as well. A lot of them do that. Okay, I'm walking into it, I'm walking through it. Okay, I'm seeing somebody, yeah. Oh, it's cold in certain parts. I think I'm in the bit where, they would do a lot of work. It's very gritty and metal looking. Okay. So where there's moon bases, there's Mars bases, operational Space Force is actually all connected. So sorry to burst your bubble, guys. It's not a case of that they're going to land or they're going to come in rescue it. Be nice. It would be nice if that was the case, but you're talking secret military's connected with all of this. Secret military. Okay, so there's a cream uniform with the Americans with this. And I'm seeing the Space Force logo, but there's sort of 3 letters. I'm seeing 2 letters, and 3 numbers, and a strange sign. So some of the humanoids which are on there, they are very highly advanced. I want to say like a lost race of where they've gone through a lot of battles. They've got like a very high forehead, maybe receding hair a little bit back, but high forehead. Nice. I'm getting like a very Nordic. I'm also getting an avian connection with some of the beings up there as well. I've been coming in contact a lot with the avian beings. And of course, there's all these different nationalities, star nationalities. Some of them I can't even pronounce. Some of them we don't even know. But exotic, I want to say, they're classed as, I don't like saying the word alien because they don't like that, but they're classed as that, okay, to us. But they're actually part human in you've got different colour skins, from dark skins to light skins. We literally have no idea. Yeah, there's different categories. It's not just Pleiadian, reptilian. That's just nothing to what is actually out there. Different categories of hybrids. And they're all working within Space Force. So some of them are actually human, but they haven't been born here. They've been born elsewhere, but they're human DNA. But when you've been born elsewhere, you'll be used to different places. You see, different germs, different places. This is quite a big thing here. Will it ever come out? Yes, it will. I'm not saying it's going to come out where it'll be disclosed that 3i Atlas is part of Space Force. But at some point it will come out that it's all fully operational out there. They're monitoring different... it's trade and everything what's going on up there. It's trade. So yeah, you're looking at a great big mothership here. What's got living quarters on. Schools, doctors, you name it, it's on that ship. It's on that ship. I've talked about this before, what the canteens are like, very interesting. And again, I know it's all just fictional when you're going into like Star Trek. But what's that funny little guy what's on Star Trek and he plays the chef? That's what it's basically like. And you'll have different types of... The avians eat a strange diet, but they think we eat a strange diet. We actually, compared to other humanoids out there in the galaxy, we are actually possibly one of the worst people with diets in the galaxy. You know what I mean? They think it's vile, like the likes of Mackie D's and things like that, what goes into it. So... But they do accommodate for if one of us ever was taken on there, you could have, say, I don't think they would do McDonald's, mind you, but you never know. You never know with man. If the man's got the finger into things like on Mars programs, they'll concoct something like that up. I'm being shown veggie burgers and stuff like that, and cheese toasties and salads and... It's not a thing that you would really want to eat if you were up there in space, you know what I mean? You wouldn't want to sink your teeth into, but you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what's out there. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, I always get into food. It's just one of them things. Okay. I'm excited. I'm walking around this big ship. There's living quarters, married quarters. See this being, and she's blonde and she's got like an avian connection. There's two of them. It'll be high security up there. You can't just go swanning off even remote viewers. You'd have to be very careful how you do it. Tracking it. They're going into the sea. The ships, the fleets of ships are coming off it and they're going in and out of the sea. Interdimensional coming in and out of the sea. And I'm not talking like in the sea there's life. Underneath the seabed, subtropical, subterranean cities, highly advanced. So a lot of these light ships we're seeing and drones, it's all military, connected, but we are them. There's no separation here. We are them and they are us, and we are working with them. That's what I'm being shown. See, I've talked about this before when Donald Trump was first in office, where I seen he went to one of these secret bases. I feel it was somewhere in Cheyenne Mountain. and he was talking to this high up colonel and shaking his hand. And then off he went, and then this other race of people were coming in on these spaceships that were coming in. Smaller UFOs, whatever they are. And they were listening to somebody where he had it up on a board, like a military board, tell them what to do with this operation, and they were planning on going into tunnels. And I had gone up to one of these soldiers, super soldiers, and I realised that they didn't feel they were human because he could see me. Then I realised he was human, but not human. And then I'm thinking, have to put something in him to make him like some artificial intelligence. But now I'm questioning, has he been a human what's been born off Earth? Okay. Interesting. Is there anything else? The outcome, the 3i Atlas. Just disperse, disappear. More will come. Lots of little ones. Because the flight ships now, don't forget our technology and our telescopes are picking it up, and our smartphones and that. But what I'm feeling here is that it's going to be they're going to find it. They're going to pick up all the little fleets of ships, what's coming from this mothership. So watch for mass sightings. It's coming through very strong. Okay. Right. Next. Digital ID. Okay. So going back to that we are spread across the galaxy and we don't realise we are. There's people what live on the moon, on the dark side of the moon. There's people what, live in Mars. It's all going on. We just don't know that. There's also people who have come here, and I've talked about karma, people who have come here to cause disruptions or their own karma. And I was just talking about this the other night, that I feel that there's a lot of dark satanic stuff going on planet Saturn, where a lot of the overlord, like the dark overlords, they go there and they do horrible things. I'm not going to get into it with little people and sacrifices and all this horrible thing that what they get up to. And I get this vibe that our Prime Minister is connected with them. So he's either attached to them or there's a family lineage with them. So he's come back to cause disruption and he's been used like a puppet. But, some people have free will and he's decided, he knows what he's doing. Some people don't know what they're doing and some people do know what they're doing. But they've tried this many times before. And what I'm going to say to you is it's all a show. So they are tracking us now. We are digital ID now. We just don't realise it. So the technology that they have, they could find where they can put devices on your wall of your house. They can listen in. They can track you. They have little bugs, that might look like a beetle, where they can get through the crack of the door of the house and come in. And you literally, have you seen something out there, like an animal, what's not an animal? I once seen a blackbird, it looked like a robotic blackbird, These things are happening. You've just got to open your mind, open your eyes to it. Once you've come out of the matrix, you see this. So this is a test. They put this out as a test so that they could see how the British public would react to this. But it's actually already going on. So through face recognition and everything, and these smartphones can do a lot more than we know. So all the digital ID it's a case of, but this is different because digital ID, it's going to be all squashed together. do you not actually think that they all have it squashed together on some sort of basement out there or supercomputer where they can just put your name in and all your credentials will come up? Of course. They're already doing it. They're already doing it. So we can't escape it. But one thing I will say to you is that once the shift happens and the new technology comes in, and I do believe we're going to go into some sort of power outrage, or everything's going to go down. The system's going to go down. And then once it comes back in, it's going to be like a super internet computer. We're going to be brought up to date with the technology. And don't forget, the technology is not the enemy, it's who's been behind it. But once it all comes out, then we'll have a choice. The choice will be given to it. And then it'll be the case of, we will all know that it'll be announced that we are in the system, the computerized system. But we will be given a choice about new laws will be brought into place. And I predict this within the next 2 to 3 years, even 18 months, which is going to protect our identity online. So watch for these people coming forth. So I want to say, it's like we're definitely going to be, we're exposed to it now. We're in it now. We're in the digital ID now. It's just we don't think we are because they're mentioning it. You see, they're very clever how they do this. So they're going to bring new laws in, and it's going to drip in, which is going to help with. So yeah, they've got it all now on a supercomputer. So once this is all brought up to date, it's going to be the crystal grid. I'm calling it the crystal grid. It might be called something else, but it's like a quantum technology that they're going to be open about it. They're not open about it at the minute. They're testing with the little tidbits. They're giving them little bits. And once it all comes out, they will be open about it. So basically you can't avoid this. We're going into a new futuristic world, and this is just the start before everything all comes out. So I don't want you to be scared. I want you to be excited, but knowing that when it all comes out, and that we know that, some of we know that we're being tracked anyway. But once it all comes out, then you're going to have a choice to maybe sign this, sign that, get out of this clause, that clause. So because there's going to be a lot of cyber police, which is now taking effect now, but it's going to go very cyber, very futuristic. So I hope that's helped there. But I do believe that he's going to try and put this false little, silly little gadget thing. Everything's, they're going like it's separate. Do you have digital ID? You know what I mean? But I just feel it's going to fall through. It's not going to work. He's going to back down. After 2 presidents, one passes naturally and one is taken out. That's what I want to give you. I'll be back on again soon. I hope you have enjoyed my 3 remote views. And I'll see you again soon for a big world predictions. Take care. God bless wherever you all are around the world. And may the force be with you all.